guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna. For those of you who are new here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. A big shout out to my channel members for supporting my channel. Thank you. All right, so this is the final installment of Poet Spice's Stash Dive for 2022. The premise of this is Poet, I, and a whole bunch of amazing crafters would dive into our stash of things that are more than 6 months old and kind of use that to just use our stuff, essentially. So thank you, Poet, for reaching out to me and hosting this amazing collaboration. All of the channels will be linked in the description box below. Now, in November, I showed you this finished, completed project, which is an envelope folder system. Oh, I should put that back with my stickers. And in that video, I said this would be great for Happy Mail. This would be great to curate items if you are working on like a themed journal spread for the month, for the year, whatever. And quite a few were interested in how I put something together. And so I'm going to show you how very easy it is to put something like this. Now, I will show you just the components on how to put it together. And it's just going to use 3 envelopes, the same as this one here, and then I'll just give you a little bit of ideas on some other things that I've made, on things that you can use and what you can use it for. Now, I purposely chose 3 different color envelopes so that you could see the construction of it. And so you do need them all open, and it is really simple. You'll probably laugh on how simple this is. And so you're going to want to tuck your first envelope into your second and kind of line them up so that it folds nicely on that finished edge. And you don't want to glue anything down because you want to fold or insert that one into this envelope right here. And then this back flap is back here. Okay, so that's the construction. And so what I do once I have this line finished up, because that's the edge of the booklet, I could just lick that, but I don't. I have, but I won't for this video. And I'll just put some adhesive there. It doesn't, because for what I would use it for, it doesn't have to be super duper sturdy. This isn't an heirloom after all. Just regular adhesive works fine. And this one is glued here, but this one is still floating. So I used some wet glue. Anything would do. You could also use a glue stick, but that might be a little bit harder to get in. But I just put a bead right here. And that's how I put it together. And then wipe off the excess. Now you could have glued this flap under here. Wait, no. Yeah, because I'm thinking, well, you could have had an extra pocket here, but then how would that work here? Yeah, because you can either glue this shut or you can glue this shut. Yeah, I'm making it harder than it needs to be. But that is as easy as it is to make that folder. Now with this one, like I said, I had added this little flip component here, and it's just hinged and glued down. And then you've got your envelopes there. I added a little belly band, and so you have items that you can put there. Again, this can be curated to set up something for your own journaling or scrapbooking, but this also would make a very fun Happy Mail. You could put more envelopes. You would just want to make sure that this flap is on the very last envelope that you do. However, if you are going to send this in Happy Mail, I would not recommend doing more than maybe 4 or 5, because then it gets too bulky and you might not be able to send it in just a regular flat envelope. So that's basically the construction. That was the piece that I did last month. Now, this was actually some free envelopes and cards from St. Jude's. They're soliciting for money. So I get a bunch of stuff from them. And so I did the same thing with them. However, I did treat this a little bit differently. So I inserted the envelopes, all exact same way. I did use the back of this card and made a little tuck spot right here. And then for this one, because it is such a long flap, I actually carefully peeled it back and then made the envelope area just a little bit smaller, just because it's easier to get in there. And because this has a bigger mouth opening, then it's easier to get into there. And so you can use, if you have them in a pristine nature and you still have the flap, you could use repurpose junk mail. You could repurpose old Christmas cards or old birthday cards, because really the construction is made up of envelopes. And then you guys saw when I did the unboxing of my 25 days of sticky vintage advent calendar. Now this one here, because the envelopes are so pretty, I would probably leave it at 2. And then again, it makes a really nice area for adding things. And I think the way that I might actually put this down, because this I think would look great in a journal, so I just wanted to get a journal out for you, is I would do the trick where I would run the bead of glue right in there, just so that I could secure these two envelopes together. But instead of gluing this to this, I probably would glue this flap to my journal. And again, making sure everything is inserted correctly. Let me put some washi down just so I can give you guys an idea of how this works. Because I'm going to take this up, I'm not going to use it in this spot, but I think this would make a really interesting journaling spot, considering how pretty the envelopes are. You do lose, no, you don't, because of the way you're gluing this down. See, I'm even more clever than I think. And you'd have spots to put in stickers or ephemera. If you're using this in like a scrapbooking or memory journal, you could put tickets or whatever. But this way, if you do have really pretty envelopes, you can still use the concept of this, glue this flap down, glue these two pieces together like I showed you, and then you still be able to take advantage of how pretty the envelopes is and the inside of the envelope, plus you'd see the inside of this envelope. So yeah, I definitely will use this in one of my journals. I just need to figure out which one. Anyway, guys, really short video. Hopefully this was helpful to you guys. I'd love to know what you think. Poet is actually hosting something very similar again next year, and I have decided to sign up again. It was rather difficult for me to come up with ideas, but I think what I'll do is I'll brainstorm some more ideas to kind of carry me through the year, write them down, and that way I'm not trying to scramble to film something for you guys every single month. I don't craft as much as I used to, but I do enjoy the hobby. All right, guys, well, that is it for me for now. And as always, aloha.